Okay. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Charlie Zeese from Stargate Pyramids. Today I have a somewhat unique person that we're interviewing today. This is Ronnie Mitchell. Ronnie Mitchell owns a company called Los Angeles Oils and Butters. He's located in Los Angeles, California. And the reason why I got in touch with Ronnie will come out, but I noticed a couple of weeks ago that, first of all, Ronnie had sent me a couple of pictures of his pyramid and his dog sitting under the pyramid, and I wanted to show you that. And more recently, and this what got my attention, Ronnie showed me a picture of what he does these days with his shipments of his product line before he sends them out, and that's to put them under the pyramid to infuse them with some energy from the pyramid. But what really caught my attention was that Ronnie had ordered a number of pyramids. I thought it was only 2, but it turns out he's actually ordered 3 pyramids from me now. So when I sent him his last shipping confirm, I reached out to him and I said, thanks for your orders. And I said, I'd love to talk to you. And one thing led to another. I've got Lori Sassen with me today as well, because Lori and Ronnie have gotten to know each other on Instagram. I'm too old to know how to use Instagram. But anyway, they've been communicating. And so we have kind of 2 reasons to have Ronnie on today. But one, I want to let him talk for a few minutes about his product line, which I hear is really great, and tell you a little bit about that. But then I really want to turn this over to Lori and Ronnie to discuss the experiences that Ronnie has had with his pyramids, and let he and Lori talk about the implications of some of the things that is happening with him, with his pyramid and with his meditation practice. So Ronnie, welcome. And if you would just just open up, tell people how you got your business started, how you got interested in pyramids. Just tell us whatever you'd like.
Sure, absolutely. Hi, everybody. So my name is Ronnie. I'm a licensed esthetician here in Los Angeles, California. I have a skincare line for the last about 3.5 years called Los Angeles Oils and Butters. Let's see, how did it get started? I was literally working at the hospital, and I went to, oh God, the story is just, where do I start? Anyway, I've always been interested in skincare. Let's put it like that. And so what happened is I developed my own skincare line that is a universal skincare line for anybody to use. And it helps people that have eczema, psoriasis, you know, all the things that they market on TV and in advertisements. Mine actually does that. And the best part about it is all the ingredients, they come straight from the earth. They're put together by me. And now I've added a bonus factor in charging all of my products under the pyramid before they're made, after they're made, and before they are sent out to my clients. I sell products like African black soaps, serums, creams, body butters, scrubs, things like that, that can literally be used from head to toe. There's no particular nationality demographic. They're literally for anybody that has hair and skin. So definitely check me out. You can look me up on Instagram at Los Angeles Oils and Butters. You can also head over to my website, losangelesoilsandbutters.com. I do my sale once a month. And when I do the sale, the store usually sells out in a few hours. So you have to, like I tell my clients, shop early and stock up, of course, because you'll be definitely happy that you made the investment.
Well, you had mentioned something earlier about having like some burn on the face. How did your oils and butters enhance that?
All right, so that's what I was going to get into. I'm like, okay, that's going to take too long. But since you brought it up, not me. Really what happened is back in 2002, 2003, when the laser hair removal machines first hit the market, that was during the time that hair was starting to come in on my face. I was around 17 or 18, 19 around that time. Let's say late teens, early 20s. And I was getting all these bumps on my face. I was having a lot of hair bumps that subsequently caused acne bumps due to infection. So I was looking for something, so I was getting all these marks on my face as well. So I found a dermatologist out here in LA that, you know, at that time was one of the few doctors that offered the laser hair removal, and it was very expensive back then, and I paid. So during my 5th of 6 sessions, everything was going fine, but on this particular instance, the machine malfunctioned, and I was the lucky person that malfunctioned on. So I ended up having laser hair burns from underneath my eyes all the way down my cheeks, on my chin. Actually grown this out here because underneath here I have a very deep scar right here that literally burned me down to the white meat, but I had burns all over my neck, everywhere. So as you can imagine, you know, being a youngster, it's devastating, not only to like my self-esteem, but I couldn't go out in the sun. It was a lot of things I couldn't do. I had to go to the Torrance Memorial Burn Center for about 3.5 months to get treatments for my wounds. And it took years for my skin to get how people see it on my online presence now, because I guess they think my skin has always looked like this. So to help with the treatment of the burns and the scarring, I discovered something called African black soap, which has been around for, you know, centuries, for years. In addition to that, I found emu oil. And using those two things over the years and, you know, playing with how often I should use them, how much I should use, it's kind of led me on a path to not only develop my own product line, but also help other people that have gone through similar situations, because I'm not the only person that has experienced burns like that, and acne scarring, and just acne problems.
Right.
So it's that devastating point in my life. It really took me on this whole journey to not only help people with their skin, but help people at this point now with their self-confidence and with these pyramids, their spirituality. I never thought, I didn't see this for my life. I did not see this for my life. But, you know, when you are really open to the universe and really accepting to for me, what God really has for you, things can literally change for you. So my business started in about 2016 when I was working at the hospital. You know, I made a few little products and I was selling them at the office, and I was doing pretty good. And just to fast forward to about early 2017, I was on a phone call at the job, and it was my last phone call right before lunch. And something just hit me like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I think I can swing this product line. And on that last phone call, I clocked out. I didn't tell anybody, and I left.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
And, you know, I had no plan. No plan. All I had was a product. All I had was a product. I didn't know how it was going to work. And I moved forward full force with that. So about 2.5 weeks after that, I found a vending event out here at the Compton Airport. I set up there. You know, I had a table, a black tablecloth, no signage. I took a few products out there, and I sold out. And that for me was the start of something big, because I don't know if you two have ever been to vending events or been the person that's like, oh, well, you know, I don't have any money on me right now, but if you call me tomorrow, I'll get it from you, right?
Right.
Literally, everybody that told me that, they called me the following day.
Oh,
so
amazing.
It was literally amazing. So at that point, during that first vending event, I made sure every single week that I had work. I would just go from event to event to event out here in LA, pushing my cart, riding the train. Sometimes I drive. It just depends on how, you know, how convenient it would be versus driving, or should I ride the train, you know, taking my table, my display, setting it up, just really having a passion for what I'm doing and just a drive to succeed, because I knew I had something good on my hands, and listening to the results that my clients were getting and how I was really helping them. And most of my products only have 3 or 4 ingredients in them. Some only have 2. And, you know, they're all straight from the earth. So I don't know, this whole journey for me up until this point has been very, it's been interesting.
I love how you say that you were the lucky one of the malpractice, because obviously looking now, you can see how that is totally benefited your life and took you on a journey that you never thought you would. And you probably get time and time again people saying, you cannot believe what it's done for my face and what it's done for my body. So I love that. And I got a question. As I get older, I've got the wrinkles.
Yeah,
like,
you mean this stuff
yeah.
down here?
So I want to know, what do you do for this?
Well, underneath that, so I'm also a licensed esthetician by trade. Now, about a year and a half into my product line, one of my friends, because I've been getting also facials since I was about 15, on and off. And then after I got burned, I started getting them regularly. And one thing that I didn't like about going to get facials was, one, the price, and two, the service. Because it's like you're paying, you know, $200-300 for a facial for them to literally just, you know, touch your face a little bit, do a little bit of this, put a mask on you, then leave the room for 15 minutes, come back, wipe the mask off, and now get out and pay. Well, I need $300 and you better leave me a tip, right? And that was one thing that I didn't like. So one of my friends, she suggested to me, literally, we were standing in her salon and she was like, why don't you just go to esthetician school? You should go get your license to back up, you know, your product line. I might do that. The following week I had an event and I'm set up. I still have the pictures. This lady, her name was Angela. She came up to me. Wow, I tried to remember her name. I was telling somebody else about this and I couldn't remember this lady's name, but her name was Angela. And she walked up to me and she was like, I really like what you're doing. Have you ever thought about going to esthetician school? I was like, you know, that's so strange. My friend literally just mentioned that to me the other day. She was like, yeah, I'm an esthetician and it's done me very well. She said, you know, go, but don't pay. Find a community college and, you know, apply for financial aid and do it like that. She said, you may have to pay for your kit out of pocket, you know, your kit for like all your supplies and things like that. But she said the course should be free. Now, you know, some of the schools just around the United States, you have to pay. You get these student loans. It's $15,000 with these licenses. She said, no, just go and apply. So that night, I looked up some different schools and I ended up going to Cerritos College. I applied, I got in, and the funny part is, and you know, that's how things happen. My grandmother always said that I've been very lucky. She's always said that since I was a kid. The semester that I started, which was last year in May, it was a summer semester. That was their first time ever doing what's called an accelerated program. So like we sped through, because the program is like a year and a half. It's like 600 hours. I did it in 6 months. I started in May and we were done by December. So because in the summertime, we were going pretty much every single day. And when I was in the program, going through it just kind of confirmed some of the suspicions that I had about the skincare industry, which I love at this point, being a scam. You know, a lot of it's marketing, so they can take these low priced ingredients and mark them up, you know, hundreds of percent, you know, $80 for a soap.
300%, yeah.
Yeah, $300 for a 2-ounce bottle of serum that maybe cost them 80 or 90 cents to make. But it's all about marketing. And when I was going through it, I'm like, okay, I went through probably one of the biggest, it was a dermatological program. I'll say it like that. And going through the program, I'm like, okay, some of this stuff is not for anybody's skin type, whether it's Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it's literally for nobody. But a bottle this big is $90. What is going on here? This cannot be right. So at that point, I knew the skincare industry needed, you know, my perspective. First of all, I was the only male in the program. Then I'm the only Black male in the program, which is another rarity. And then going through, you know, to the sites where Dermalogica is and some of the other big skincare brands, I didn't see anybody that looked like me, let alone a male. Literally the only guy in the class. So I took those experiences, and during that time, I used it to make my products even better. So before I was selling my black soap, which do I have it here? I have it here, it's in the jar now, right? And this is what it looks like. It's a creamy black soap. It's infused with emu oil and black seed oil, which is a whole nother part of the story. And this is another part of my grandmother saying, you know, me being lucky. I was going through the program, and I was telling one of my classmates that I want to get out of having my black soap in a bar, because it was in the bar before it was a soft bar.
Right.
And going through the program, I was telling one of my classmates, I want to put it in a jar because I want to put more ingredients and really enhance it for people. It may be a little bit cost-wise more, but the quality will make it so much better. So one night, I'm making my soaps as usual, and I made a misstep. I did one step before the other, and I'm like, oh God, I've ruined this whole batch of soap. Because mind you, I'm making, 10, 20 gallons of soap at a time at this point.
Right.
So I proceeded on. I'm like, well, I'm not throwing this soap away. We're just gonna have to see what happens. And so I mixed it. And as I'm mixing, I'm like, oh my God, this is mixing so much easier just from me doing this misstep. And so I went to pour the soap and let it sit. And I'm like, and when it set, I'm like, oh my God, is it? Because I was trying to figure out how to get the soap in the jar, and I could not for the life of me figure it out. And that one night, it was one day in March. I was like, oh my God, boom, it just happened. And so I introduced it to my client base, and they were like, oh my God, this is just like so much better. Like the soap was already good, but it got so much better in just that one instance. So I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. The story of
It's all right. It's okay.
No, that's great. But you're an esthetician now. For those in LA, do you?
Oh, and you were asking about the neck. So
yeah,
that's what I wanted to get back to. So when I was going through the program, there are different things. You know, they just teach you the basics. And so for me, what I did is after the program, you know, like I was telling you guys earlier before we got on, you know, I do a lot of research. I'm a lot of self-taught. I have my license, but I'm also self-taught as well. So for like the neck and skin tightening, with me having the product line and going through the school at the same time, I was able to buy, thankfully, the high-end equipment a lot of these Beverly Hills spas have. I have them right here in the office. So to tighten up the skin, it's one of two things that we would have to address. We would have to tighten up the muscles, because a lot of people, you know, they get fillers to kind of lift the muscles or the fat pads in the face to stop like the drooping. So you would do like a microcurrent, which pretty much charges the cells of the muscles, like a workout for the face. So it's like an instant lift. Usually on the first session, you can see an immediate lift, but after about 2 or 3 days, the face starts to go back to its normal position. But of course, just like with any other workout, the more you do it, the longer the results stay.
Sure.
In conjunction to doing the microcurrent, we have the radio frequency treatment. And what the radio frequency treatment does, it's literally like a miracle. It's the skin tightening portion of the facial service. So you do the microcurrent, and then you do the radio frequency. And how radio frequency works is it heats up the collagen underneath the skin, and it causes the collagen to tighten pretty much like a band. And as it's tightening, it causes a lift. So with a few, usually with like the first session, you can see fine lines and wrinkles almost instantly disappear. But of course, just like with the microcurrent, the more you do, the better the results are. So if you do anywhere from 6 to 12 sessions, it's literally like having a full facelift, but you still look like yourself.
Wow.
That's great. Thank you.
Well, what I want to do real quick, and then probably want to switch on over now to kind of your experiences with the pyramid, but I wanted to show folks what a couple of the pictures that you had sent me. Here's one of you sitting under your pyramid with your dog. You might want to tell us a little bit about that one.
So that one, I think that was when I first, was that when I first got the pyramid? I think that was just me meditating. I was getting ready for my sale. So I had cleared out my office. I sage, because I sage every day, especially before and after all of my clients leave, and usually before I leave the office. And something
Fantastic.
like, get your camera and set it up and take a picture of yourself. And so I set up the camera and I was there. I had my meditation music on. I always meditate to my Tibetan bowls that go through all the 7 chakras. And I believe on this picture, I was doing my 6th and 7th chakra meditation. And in my hand here, that gold piece, you can see my Libyan desert glass here, which I meditate with daily. And I think in my other hand, I have my Herkimer diamond, which is right over here behind me. And then there's my dog Peekaboo sitting right there with me, getting the good energy from the Russian pyramid.
Well, that's
And then
fantastic.
you also have a dream catcher, is that right? Up in the center?
I have a dream catcher there. So also with me being an esthetician, when I first got the pyramid, I was using it. My initial plan was to use it for, my clients while I was working on them, for them to lay under the pyramid, and get the good energy from the pyramid. And a lot of my clients, I would say about 98% of my clients, because my facials, they're not like regular facials. They're a minimum of 2 hours and 10 minutes. I literally do everything your skin needs during the facial. So the things I was telling you about as far as the microcurrent, the radio frequency, I do microdermabrasion, all of that comes with my facial package. I don't, skimp when I work on my clients. So I was like, okay, well, this would probably be good for them to experience, having the dream catcher, because I know it lets the good dreams come in, but it keeps the bad dream, it blocks the bad dreams and keeps the good dreams pretty much. And I think the feathers, from what I understand, makes the good dreams trickle down into the body. I hope I'm saying that right, but that's my understanding of the
Yes.
dream catcher. So that's the reason why I put it there. And so for me, when I first got the pyramid, of course, I laid down on my esthetician table first with the pyramid under, or the table in the pyramid. And so you guys, when I was laying down about to lay down underneath the pyramid, this was the first time it literally felt like somebody was pressing me down, not like forcing me down, but it felt like somebody was pressing me down into the table. So I'm laying there like, okay, this is interesting. And then you can feel I hope I don't sound insane. You can feel a warmth. It's like a warmth when you're laying under the pyramid. So I'm like, okay, well, let me see. So I had a client come. And I didn't tell her what I experienced with the pyramid. I just was like, yeah, this is like a meditation pyramid. You're going to get some good stuff laying under it. So as she's laying down, she was like, she literally said, it feels like somebody, for her, was pressing her face down into the bed. And I'm like, okay, so it's just not me. I'm not the only one experiencing it. So she left, and I had another client come, and the same thing. Now, this one said she felt it on her body. Somebody was pressing her down. So with me not being able to explain it, I moved the pyramid. I stopped for a while putting people under the pyramid, because I'm like, I don't want to spook anybody, because I was kind of spooked myself. I didn't really know, but it's definitely something to the pyramid. I mean, whether people believe in it or not, it believes in you, and it's gonna happen regardless. So that's one thing I know for sure. That's from my experience.
And so you've also recognized that some of your meditations are better and deeper and stronger. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So I have the pyramid here at the office. From experiencing what I experienced with the pyramid, even in that picture, I remember getting up, and it was I just felt so much peace. And I was really setting my intentions in what I wanted for not only my life, but with my business. And I think that picture was late December, early January. And I don't know, it seems like, because, I've been meditating. I think I was telling you guys, I've been meditating since about last June. And prior to me getting into meditation, I was not the guy to meditate. That was not me. I was like,
Right. Right.
I'm not going to sit there with my eyes closed for 10 minutes and just not think of it. I'm not doing that ever. But it does work. And for me doing that, I've been able to, like I was telling you guys, my grandmother said I've always been lucky, but meditating with my stones and now meditating under the pyramid has really allowed me to manifest the things in my life that I want. I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about things as far as helping people and guiding people. One of the things I always repeat in my meditation is just to help me be a good leader, help me to be an effective leader, help me to effectively, communicate with people where they understand. And just give me the knowledge that I need to help people. And I really feel like doing my meditations with my stones and now adding this pyramid to that has really amplified everything. Because this month in January, it was the biggest sale that I had ever had in the history of my company. And, I was showing my clients on my social media presence, my Instagram, showing them the pyramid and how I was charging my ingredients under the pyramid, how I was charging the products under the pyramid. And they really appreciated that, and it struck their interest. Some were kind of savvy to it and knew a little bit about it, but they weren't really up on the Russian pyramid. So I'm glad I was able to, bring something different to people, because I feel like people really need to know about this pyramid energy. It's an absolute reason why pyramids have persisted throughout history. And just experiencing what I've experienced for myself, I'm a total believer of that. So
I like what you were saying with Peekaboo, that it used to be that in the morning times he would kind of, mess with you while you're sleeping, but now he's just kind of relaxed and just been okay and just kind of left you alone.
Right, he leaves me alone now in the morning, because before, like I was telling you, he would wake up. So the first day, so I have 3 pyramids at this point. I just got my second one, or my third one, just a few days ago. And when I got my second one, the first one was here for the office. That's the one I'm sitting under today. The second one I bought for my house. After I experienced what I experienced with this one, I'm like, oh, I gotta have one at the house too. I have to. So I got one for the house, and the first night that I got it, a few different things happened for me. Some dreams happened. Some things happened during my meditation, but one of the 2 things that happened with Peekaboo is in the morning, Peekaboo will usually wake me up every single morning prior to me getting the pyramid. This particular morning, he just slept, and that was like a sound sleep. And when he did wake up, like I was telling you guys about the whole meditation thing, he was playing, and it was so strange how he was playing, because he wasn't playing with anything or anybody, but he was literally having such a good time, and he was jumping and like twirling in a circle. It was almost like I was dreaming, but it was literally happening. So,
Right.
yes.
Right. That's amazing.
Well, my apologies.
Charlie, do you have that photo of him with?
Of course, that's what I've been trying to do. I'm going to stop for a second and try to get this, because this is a pretty cool picture. I don't know why I'm having the difficulty that I'm having finding it, but we're going to try here one more time. Here we go. Finally.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
We'll open that up. Oops. I'm sorry. There we go. So this is your last month's shipments, I guess. And your
29th, I took this picture.
Yeah. So for all of you getting his products, you know that they're going to be infused with good pyramid energy. So I thought this picture really got me to saying, I think I got to get Ronnie on here and have an opportunity to talk to him. So one of the things that I think we'd like to have you talk about too, you mentioned that you have 3 pyramids, but you have 2 of them now in your bedroom.
Yes.
And so explain, or why don't you describe to people what you've been experiencing now that you put that second one in your bedroom?
Well, I've only had the second one in my bedroom for a couple of nights. So about 10 minutes after I set the pyramid up, I got my bed situated so they'll both fit evenly on each side of the bed, kind of like you would have nightstands. So I set them up, laid back in the bed, and it was like a breeze that started to happen in between the pyramids on my bed. So I'm sitting there like, what? There's no windows open at this point. The fan is not on. There's nothing. I don't know what that was about, but I forgot to tell you guys, when I got the first pyramid in my home, I noticed the air got cleared. I have 2 air purifiers in my house, but it seems like the pyramid, I know I try to tell my cousin without sounding like a lunatic. No, seriously, I feel like air.
We're among friends here.
I feel like the air
Yeah, we know.
the air quality. And so with having the additional pyramid there, you know, within 10 minutes of this happening, I'm feeling like this breeze going, and it's not a strong breeze, like gust of wind, but it's definitely like air that's just like flowing, you know, over my bed, that's going in conjunction between the pyramids. That's the only way that I can. Even last night, it was still going. So I don't know. I that's the only way I can describe what's going on.
Now your sleep patterns. I know it's only been a couple of days since you've had the second one in the bedroom, so it may be hard to talk about. But have you noticed anything about your sleep patterns once you started putting the pyramid into your bedroom?
With the second one, not as of lately just yet. Like I said, I haven't under the weather since about Thursday. But when I got the first pyramid, now mind you, I've been doing my meditations, and when I got the first pyramid earlier this year, maybe late last year, I also got my first piece of big Libyan desert glass. It's a huge piece. This is like, I think, almost 400 or is it 600 grams of desert glass. It's a big piece. You know, this is the manifestation stone. So the night that I got this, I also got the pyramid, and I set it up. And this is the same thing that happened with people. All this happened this same day. This particular night, I was doing my meditation, and when I meditate, usually at night, I'll go through all my chakras, all 7. So when I got to the 6th chakra, the Libyan desert glass, it literally felt like a block of ice was on my chest. This comes from the desert. I have no idea why it felt like that. And it was only across my chest, not across my whole body, because I had it laying, you know, right above my heart. And so it's like a block of ice. So I'm just laying there like, okay, I'm just going with it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And, you know, the pyramid is right next to my bed at this point. I had it set up right next to my bed. So, like I told you, I tried to put it on my bed and ended up scratching the ceiling because it was too.
It's just not, yeah.
I should have got the smaller one. But so that was happening there. So now with the Tibetan bowls, it's moving up to the 7th chakra. And the same thing with the ice on my chest, but this time it felt like something, a presence was in the room with me. And it kind of scared me because I had all the lights off when I meditate, just in the dark. And so as I'm feeling this presence, I'm like, okay, God is not giving me a spirit of fear with a power, love, and a sound mind. I just kept repeating it over and over and over again because it really kind of rattled me, but I didn't want to break my meditation. And it went away because the meditation there, they do it in 10-minute increments. And when the 10 minutes was over, the presence just went away. So I moved I took my Libyan desert glass off my chest. I had a small little wooden nightstand in the center of the pyramid, since I couldn't sleep in the pyramid, which I really, really wanted to, but I put my stones in the middle of the pyramid. And so, you know, I went to sleep, and a couple of things happened that night. I had a dream I was telling you guys about being kidnapped. And in the dream, it was 5 people. It was 5 people in a room, and then the kidnapper. And initially, I'm watching what's going on. And so all of a sudden, they're talking amongst each other, they're kind of frazzled. And all of a sudden, I'm in the dream. I don't know if I got kidnapped or what happened, but I appear in the dream. And so I'm like, well, what's going on here? Why are you guys, here, we're kidnapped. What do you mean we're kidnapped? I'm like, it's 6 of us here, and it's only one of him. And so as I'm saying this, there's stairs to, to my left. I'm like, well, it's 6 of us. We're gonna throw him down the stairs and we're gonna get out of here. So as I say this, I told you guys I had that wrist brace on my hand. I turn around and I go to punch the guy. And as I'm doing this, I wake up because I'm literally kind of punching the wall. I'm glad I woke up just in the nick of time because I really feel like I would have broke my hand. That's how much force that I was, swinging at the guy with. I'm like, what the heck is going on? When I woke up, like, why is this? I've never had a dream like that before. I woke up punching somebody. I don't know. So I go back to sleep, and now here we are with the peekaboo situation. Now, before I got the pyramid, my dog Peekaboo, he's a puppy. He's a West Highland Terrier. He was about 11 months at this point, almost 1. He would wake up every single morning consistently. He wants me to pick him up, play with him every single morning, early in the morning. This particular morning he didn't. He slept, and I mean, it was like a hard sleep too. He slept. And so when he woke up, I woke up by the sound of him playing, which was so strange. He wasn't playing with any toys. He didn't have any of his little chew bones, nothing like that. He was just running in a circle, jumping up and down. I don't know what that was about. But then remember, I told you guys how when I was in my meditation, I felt a presence in the room. So right. I don't know. Something is going on.
Right. So many times I've known that there are actual helpers that come through the pyramid to come. And I've experienced that myself, whether it's interdimensional beings or it's angelic realms. It's just been pretty fascinating. And I'm just so grateful for Charlie for bringing this technology back, because it's been a lost technology that we've needed to bring back. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So that's just one of a few of the things that have happened to me with the pyramid. I could talk literally for hours about some of the things the dreams that have consistently been happening that really intensify with having the pyramid, and even just getting the second pyramid with that wind situation. That was so strange to me. No fan, no windows open, none of that, but you can feel the breeze. And Charlie, I've watched your videos and I've seen, I guess, about how you do the diagrams with the circles going up, and I guess they're moving. And I saw the video where, the guy had froze the water, and,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I know, maybe, I have no idea. I can't explain it.
Well, I get that there's some kind of infinity between the two transmitting back and forth. So I love that idea too. It's just like, wow, that's bringing some really good energy to you.
Wow. We're now I got another idea for Lori. We've been doing some work. I don't know, Ronnie, if you've watched some of the live streams about the Tartarian architecture, but one thing we're noticing is that there's always 2 towers that are used in this to generate energy. And I'm wondering, I'll just throw it out, Lori. Is that what's causing this? Is there some similar effect that we're seeing with the 2 pyramids that Ronnie has?
You're on the same path as I am, because I'm thinking, wow, what if we had 4? What would happen if we did 4 of them?
Well,
true. Because I really want to have one, like one of the smaller ones. I know if I have a guest at my house, they're going to
Ronnie, that's what I want to ask you. Has anyone seen it? Because I'm in an apartment. People come into my apartment. I have classes on Sunday. They immediately come and sit in it. I mean, they don't say much of anything, but they just sit in it. But people that come never say a word. I took it to North Carolina. My son-in-law never said a word. And I just thought, this is very interesting. Nobody talks about it. And it's like, it's almost as if they feel like they would sound silly if they questioned it or wondered about it, or so I just left it alone. But I'm just like, if people only knew what was happening, because when I got it, I had a ton of blocks that were in my life just kind of fade away. They no
Mm-hmm.
longer existed, like these obstacles that seem, we always talk about in life, we have our subconscious that may be blocking ourselves from things, but there's other things that seem to block us. And that was the one thing the pyramid stopped with me. It's like the outside obstacles that I had no control over were gone. And I mean, it just keeps getting better. My psychic ability gets stronger. And it's like some people go, well, how could it get any stronger? It can. It can.
Yeah.
And it's almost like what you might be looking at such a low level of something, you're at such a high level looking over things that it makes more sense at a higher level. And like you're saying, just the simple mistake of this step helped you with the noise. Well, how do you know it wasn't something within the pyramid that made sure you missed, that step to create what you were looking for in the first place? So that's what I love.
Yeah.
And well, like, for example, we'll start talking about something either on our Monday show or just talking about, boy, it'd be nice if we had this or that or the other. Next thing I know, it's happening to me like crazy. And it's not
Right.
just once, it's 2, 3, 4 times. I'm like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I would get another pyramid just to see, because I really want to see. I don't really have, since I've been doing my meditation thing, I don't really allow people in my house because I just want to keep the energy good. Because even when I got Peekaboo last year, I had to get used to his energy as well. But now, me and him we're thick as thieves. But I did the other day, I had the internet guy come and reinstall the internet in my house. And I was like, should I take the pyramid? I didn't sit down, and he looked at it and I was
That's
like,
what I'm
whatever.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Nobody says anything. It's like,
Yeah.
what is that? Why don't they go, why you got a pyramid in your house? I mean, why don't they say that?
Right. Right.
But I would like to get a smaller one because I've already been kind of scoping it out. And if I can put a smaller one right above my bed, because I feel like if the energy is coming from the floor up, maybe I could pull something straight from my bed up into, I don't know.
Well, Ronnie, I do sell a 3-foot version.
I like your theory.
Yeah. I do sell a 3-foot version
Right.
that's only 3 feet tall, and that would easily fit over your bed. But yeah, you just want to check that out. One question that I had before we kind of wrap up here too, you had mentioned to me that and to us that one of the things that you experienced was really a sense of peace, I think.
Yes.
And so, as I went to a lot of expos over the last year, and besides people just saying that they could feel energy, which 90+% of the people could feel it, the most common comment was a sense of peace. So I wondered if you would just comment on that for a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely feel a sense of peace just with meditating. And then what I also meant to tell you last night, as a matter of fact, I just wanted to see something. So I'm laying in the bed. Now, at this point, I have both pyramids on each side. And I don't know, Charlie, if you meditate with the stones, but I see, Lori, you have your stone there in your hand, and you know how stones have a vibration. I just reached over and I grabbed one of the pillars of the pyramid from my bed, and it vibrates like a stone. It vibrates like it's so strange to me. So even with me being under the weather the last few days, since like about Thursday or Friday, when you sick, it's hard to sleep, but I don't know. I felt just a sense of continued peace that usually when I'm sick, it's just like, you're miserable. But even that picture that you showed earlier where I'm meditating under the pyramid, it's like you meditate and you get up and you can just feel light. For me, I just feel light. I feel light. I feel like everything is going to take its course and it's going to be okay. It's going to be Okay. Even now, sitting under the pyramid for this, I think this is maybe, I think the longest I've sat under the pyramid was maybe 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going for a while now. So.
Yeah, yeah.
What I think both Charlie and I are shocked that you're sick because
We are.
you know, he
How
even
did you know?
mentioned
You
many
knew
times
that.
he
You knew I was thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't been sick since we've had the pyramid. So we're trying to wonder, how did you get sick? And like you mentioned, you did have other people come in, but I have a grandson I take care of that he's in and out of daycare all the time. So I'm constantly getting those kind of germs. But I did check your energy for
a year.
yeah, I did check your energy for infections, viruses, and things like that, and bacteria. So clear some of that out. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. But yeah, that really kind of shocked me. And I did feel like it was from an outsider. So it wasn't anything that you did wrong or you know, so.
Well, I had some employees that, but you know, when you're working with people, they bring their stuff. Oh, and that's another thing. So one of my employees, okay, so where I'm at, my works, one of the workstations is right across, and the pyramid is pretty much in the center kind of my office. And as she was putting the packages back and forth under the pyramid, she's like, I can feel a heat coming from the pyramid. And she saying it, she kept repeating it every time she would go back. And then she starts to question me, you know, ask more and more questions about the pyramid. So I don't know, for whoever's watching this, if you're interested in getting a pyramid, you may not believe in it, whatever. The pyramid believes in you because it's definitely going to do
It does.
what it's going to do. And I'm a witness of that. My clients are witnesses of that. And
I'm curious,
yeah,
do you
he's definitely should.
ever stand up to get closer to the top of the pyramid?
Yes, I do.
Now, do you feel that energy?
I can't say I feel a difference in the energy, but I do stand up because one of my chairs, actually, one of my office chairs, it's one of my esthetician chairs. It's like a standing chair, so it'll take me like right up to where my head is, like where it can't go up any higher. So sometimes when I meditate, I'll be right at the top.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always.
You and your wife, how the energy started from way up here with these. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I need to meditate up here. So,
well, it
but
just
I try
always
not to
feels
do
like
it with that because
I'm
What'd you say,
blasting
Lori?
off. I always feel like I'm blasting off when I'm standing up.
Like,
I feel like I'm about to be a rocket up in space. So, but the one thing that you're talking about with the peace, what I find so interesting, we're always trying to manifest things in our life. And what I recognize is the pyramid really calms the energy that when you're manifesting, you don't get the kind of anxiety type of receiving back what you're manifesting. You get better quality stuff because you are calm.
Right.
That's right.
So I don't know if you've recognized that, but that's what I have definitely felt.
Well, I think it's probably time that we try to wrap this up. Ronnie, it's been a real pleasure having you on today. Again, I want to tell people that if they're interested in your products, go to it's LosAngelesOilsAndButters.com. You can order products. I'm going to be ordering some. I told Ronnie off camera, I have very dry skin. That's why I kind of have a reddish complexion sometimes in the wintertime, because my skin just gets so dry and rough. So I've tried Dr. Squatch, which I don't think Ronnie had heard of, but it's some kind of a new market. It's a new skincare product line for men, and it really did help, but it wasn't quite as exciting as I had hoped. So I can't wait to get some of your products and try them out for myself. And my significant...
Black Seed Serum Kit, Charlie. I think that'll be really beneficial for you.
Okay.
And just really quick for the people that are watching, that are interested in skincare, listen closely. If a product says that it's organic and it's geared towards men or for women, how can an organic product be gender specific? It's impossible. It's for everybody.
Sure, sure.
Everybody. So.
Anyway, and she's also she ordered from a company that supposedly has a product to deal with the sagging, you know, and I know it was expensive, and I know it really didn't do what she'd hoped. So I'm looking forward to trying out your products. But mostly, you know, obviously the other side of this, we're very excited to have people come on and talk about their pyramid experiences, and I appreciate the fact that you were willing to come on and talk about what you've experienced with it, because the more people realize that people from all walks of life, all occupations, it doesn't matter. This pyramid seems to have some pretty magic effects for everyone. So, Ronnie, do you have any parting comments you want to make at this point?
Everybody pick up a pyramid and just experience the pyramid power for yourself. You're going to be very shocked, especially if you are a person that meditates or you're thinking about meditating. This will really amplify your meditation experience. Like I said, before this, I was not a person that just was not something I was ever interested in. But now I'm literally addicted to meditating, seeing the results that it gets. And it's not necessarily a materialistic result. It's a result of peace and just manifesting goodness in your life. So try it out. Head over to StargatePyramids.com and pick up that pyramid.
Thank you so much. Lori, any parting words here?
Just great to connect with Ronnie. He and I had just connected on Instagram. I'm glad we got to do it face to face. I look forward to.
Do they let old
products.
farts on Instagram?
Yes.
Do they let?
Do they let old farts on Instagram? Maybe I need to join.
Yeah, they do. So I'm very glad we got to connect. I just love your infectious energy. It's amazing.
It is indeed. So anyway, we thank you all for watching. As always, please feel free to tell your friends about Stargate Pyramids and also about our weekly live stream, Pyramid Quest, that Lori and I are on every Monday at noontime. We thank you all for watching, and you have a great day.
Likewise. See you guys soon. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
All righty. Bye-bye.